What's up? We're about to see The Flash, but a lot of traffic, so we thought I might as well do a little preamble. So, The Flash came out, 16th, so it's a little past opening weekend.
Yeah.
Anyone excited? Woo, The Flash.
Yeah, I'm excited. Flashpoint's my favorite animated movies, so for the DC animated universe, so it'll be fun.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's like very loosely based. I don't think it's actually like everyone was like, "Oh, Batman v Superman, it's gonna be like Dark Knight Returns," but it was like nothing like it, or very lightly like it. Huh?
I mean, Dark Knight Returns, Batman v Superman was only like the last parts of the movie.
Kind of, I don't know, but I don't know. I remember I rewatched a bit of what's it called, Justice League, just to see the Flash parts. Oh geez, just see the Flash parts. I don't like Ezra Miller as Flash. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way he acts. I liked him in a few of his other movies when he's not like being a quirky boy. But I don't like this direction of the Flash going. Thankfully, it's trying to be like a rebrand, right? They're trying to, have these different multiverses or whatever to set up a different timeline of different Flashes or different Supermans or whatever. So I'm glad that's happening. But also no freaking what's his name? Henry Cavill. So that's sad. But so I'm not really excited for this, and the reviews haven't been too inspiring. I heard a lot of people saying, "Yeah, well, hey man, it's a fun movie. A lot of scenes where you can go, woo, Batman, woo, Spider-Man." I mean, not Spider-Man, but you know what I mean. It's like a No Way Home, but less. The writing wasn't as good, but I have a decent expectation for what's about to show up. I remember people hating on Batman v Superman, and I watched it in theaters, and I'm like, it's not that bad, but yeah. But I also coming at it as a huge fan of the other movies, so.
Would you say you have higher expectations from Evil Dead? Like, before we watched that movie, you had like 0 expectations for it. So you say you have higher.
I think I have lower expectations. I know it's not gonna appease to what I'm looking for in this film.
Yeah.
But for what it is, I'm just excited to see 72-year-old Michael Keaton as Batman. See how they deal with that. And also, what's it called? Michael Shannon is back as Zod. So that's gonna be cool. Have you seen Man of Steel and the other Snyderverse films?
No, I haven't.
What? So
wasn't that movie terrible though? The 2013 Man of Steel.
Oh, it depends on where you're expecting. If you're expecting like a lot of the Superman stuff is very not like the comics, but again, it's like, well, who cares,
Yeah.
But so you haven't seen Man of Steel? Have you seen Batman v Superman or?
I've seen Batman versus.
What's it called? Justice League. Have you seen the?
Yeah. I've seen Batman versus.
Okay, so you haven't seen Justice League?
Was it the live action one?
Yeah.
No,
there's 2 of them.
I haven't seen it.
Oh shoot!
I'm
okay.
really not caught up on.
So all of these.
And what is Wolverine in? What universe is he in?
That's in Marvel, yeah.
Marvel, right? Yeah.
That's insane because a lot of the hype around this movie is because of all of the throwbacks and the references.
Yeah, so I'll get like none of them. So you guys will have to explain it to me.
So you'll probably have. Oh, that's really exciting because that means you'll have the purest opinion about this movie because you don't have any love for Michael Keaton's Batman, or you don't have any love for Michael Shannon's Zod.
I mean, I've watched like Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, but that has
nothing to do. Yeah,
Christian Bale, right?
Nothing to do with these movies. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's nothing.
Damn. Oh, yeah. I'm excited to see what you think about this movie afterwards.
Yeah, me too. I hope it's decent, but we'll see.
I think everyone hopes, especially when you spend money to watch a movie.
Yeah, of course.
You hope it's a good movie. I don't think you come in.
I
can't wait to shit on this movie. No, yeah, we're not like that. What do you think about this, Ali?
Yeah, I'm not too critical for a lot of movies.
Yeah, we also rewatched the Keaton Batman movies last night, or the night before. And they really don't hold up as much as I was expecting to, especially Returns. Returns is a downright movie that I didn't really enjoy that much. The first one, it's so nostalgic for me, but the second one,
kid, right?
So yeah. The second movie, I don't think I remember watching it as many times. And then when I rewatched it again, I'm like, ooh, why is everyone so horny? Why is the Penguin making euphemisms about fingering women? Like, what the fuck? So really weird. And and the Penguin's like an incel, like simp. So he simps over Catwoman, and then when she rejects his what's it called? Advances. She's like, you slut, you whore, you floozy.
I wouldn't touch you to scratch you.
You lousy minx! I ought to have you spayed! You sent out all the signals! And I don't think I like you anymore!
I'm like, what?
Isn't Penguin like 5'1"?
not even. He's like 4 something.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
But it's funny that like everyone's like, oh, Michelle Pfeiffer's the best Catwoman, but I didn't really get that because Catwoman's supposed to be like flirty, but like she's outright like licking people in the face and talking about groping Batman and stuff like that. I'm like, interesting.
Yeah, Catwoman in love with Batman.
Oh, she has an affection for, I don't know about love, but yeah, I like the relationship they had, but I was like, it was a bit too forward, but I guess for time.
Imagine they somehow related Flash and Joker. So, I
The
know it never
Joker?
happened.
Michael
When
Keaton's
they mentioned
retired.
Joker,
Oh,
I'm like,
what?
oh, it's connected.
I don't think they're connected at all. The Batman and the Joker within their own universes. I think was his name. I want to say Tommy Gunn, but that's not Tom. What's his name again?
Jack Nicholson.
Actor for Joker?
No, the DC guy, the guy who's at helm of DC. What's his name? James Gunn.
James Gunn.
James Gunn. Yeah. So, but I also got the Avatar movies on 4K just now. So that has nothing to do with this movie, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited just because I can finally turn my brain off and just go woo. So
Yeah, I haven't watched.
Did you do that for Evil Dead?
no, I actually.
I haven't watched any of the trailers or anything.
God damn it. You haven't seen any trailers for The Flash?
No, the only thing I saw was this clip where they reversed it.
Oh, really?
So it looks like Ezra Miller's putting a baby in the microwave.
Nice.
Nice.
I mean, I saw some of the trailers when I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, we were watching the movie. We were in the theaters, yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess I forgot. Because on Twitter, I block all the words that have...
I did that for Spider-Man, because I haven't seen it yet.
Should be
Anyways.
fun. Yeah.
This is we're slightly optimistic just to see some fun superhero bullshit, but anyways, let's actually watch the movie and we'll see what we think about later.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours, 24 minutes, so...
Oh, is it that long?
Yeah, it's 2 hours, 24 minutes.
Anyways, let's go. We're back. We're out of the theater. Moody lighting. It's still... The sun's not fully set, but it's still...
almost 10 o'clock.
It's almost 10 o'clock.
It is
So-
10 o'clock.
So we're out of the Flash. We saw it here at Yorkdale Mall. Screw you, Allie. I knew this theater experience wasn't going to be the best. It wasn't totally worse, but I was in a situated area right next to the speaker, so I didn't really get too much.
Yeah.
But I know you were. But anyways, I want to get into the theater experience first because I don't know what happened to people. I think maybe because of lockdown, but we were out of lockdown for the last 2 years, so I don't know what's going on. It's weird because they were quiet during the action scenes, and then when really quiet dialogue scenes were happening, then they'd start talking. And it's not like, oh, they'd say, hey man, pass this, hey man. They like
really
full
loud.
voice. Like, there's a scene that's pretty heartfelt that I almost like, oh wow, this is pretty serious. And then people are just talking. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Didn't you pay money? Like, we watched this in Ultra AVX. You think when you pay tickets for like a premium theater, because this wasn't cheap, I think it was like $14-15 after tax or whatever.
Yeah.
You
It's
think?
usually 30.
Well, I guess today, because it is Tuesday, all of the lower life forms come out when it's cheaper. So
I agree.
I guess they kind of value less. And also, we came in an area where a lot of people like to just, what's it called, theater hop. So people who didn't pay for the tickets will just come in and just talk, and because they don't give a fuck, right? They didn't pay the money for it. So that was a big gripe. But the screen was good. The quality of the audio on the screen was pretty good. It's just, again, the movie etiquette is really lost. Like I remember back in the day when you go to watch a movie, don't be a Susie seat kicker. Turn your phone off and please don't talk. They don't do that anymore.
No.
I don't know why they don't do that, and it's ruining the theater experience, and they wonder why, for certain movies, the box office is dwindling down, is because people like to watch a movie and sit down. Like, I don't know what's going on in their lives that they can't shut the fuck up for 2 hours, but for some reason, they just had to talk for some reason. But anyways, that was my theater experience. The theater experience, I would say it was like a 5 out of 10. It wasn't terrible. Like, the screen was good and audio was good. It's just people were chattering here and there, but for a movie that I really wasn't the most excited for, I didn't really mind it. A couple people using their phones here and there, but besides that, it was fine. Now, let's get into the movie.
I want to give my...
Oh, do you want to give your
Yeah, we
theater
should
experience?
all
Okay.
give our theater
Yeah.
experience.
Okay, it's my channel.
Usually I don't notice the people talking or whatever, but this time I was sitting like
right next to
couple
them, right?
seats beside people who were talking, and it was like non-stop. It was almost as if the person was translating.
Was it the people under you?
No, right next.
besides.
It was the Indian couple, right?
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
it was almost as if they were translating the movie.
Was
to
there
each
Fernando
other.
next to you, and then there was an Indian
Yeah.
couple? Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it was the first time I was like, oh wow, this is actually annoying. But like since they're 2 seats over, I couldn't say, "Hey, shut up."
You say shh, shh. Do that. Are, shh. There you go. That's how you. That's how
Arey
you.
yaar, chup karo.
Yeah, it was.
You were sitting next to people too, right?
Yeah,
While
yeah.
people were
No,
talking.
you literally noticed it, and then I like started picking it up too. They were literally so fucking loud, like. And it was
Yeah,
very
like what happened to
loud.
people going, "Hey man, what's up?" Oh, that's so cool.
No, they're
They're like talking, full voice
Yeah.
talking. Like, what the fuck?
I could hear everything they were saying. It was the most useless shit they were talking about anyway.
Really?
Yeah, I'll get onto it when we actually.
Yeah, so because of that, and because this place is like an hour away, I give this a 2 out of 10
Wow.
for experience.
Damn.
Damn.
Like it actively ruined the actual movie for me because I was actually really liking the movie, but then I kind of forgot some parts because instead of hearing
Yeah,
the
like
movie,
you'd start like thinking about people talking, and then all of a sudden, like a
corrupts
couple
it,
lines
yeah.
of dialogue go by, and you're like, "Oh, what happened?"
Yeah.
So
yeah, so 2 out of 10. Only reason it's a 2 is because our friends were here. So
Yeah.
I mean,
and the screen was fine.
screen was good, the audio was good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I give it a 5 because that's my bare minimum.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess it's my turn. I agree with everything that they said about this. Like, people just don't understand that when a movie is playing, like, you really need to just shut up because you're literally hindering the experience for everyone. I don't understand. You know what they're talking about?
But
They were literally just talking about getting food to eat after. Like, the most useless shit ever. Like, you can't wait
What?
until the movie is done to talk about eating your fucking chaat papri and everything like that.
Jeez.
Like, it's so fucking stupid, honestly. And, like, there was, like, you were saying the theater hopping. Like, dude, kids need a leash nowadays, man. I'm telling you. I don't want to go into it or anything like that. But, like, those kids were just ruthless. Like, you said they were theater hopping from another theater, right?
well,
like,
I
they
guess
didn't pay for
because
it or
once you
whatever.
get in, it's free range. Like no one really like. I used to
yeah.
work at the theater for like 4 years. We don't really
Yeah.
care as long as you have the ticket. You go through. It's like a gate. Now you
Yeah.
can go to any fucking movie you want to.
Basically.
And I don't really care for that as long as you're respecting other people who paid money for it. But when you're just like fucking around and shit, like, dude, what the hell? This is like opening weekend.
They
The
were
Flash,
talking pretty
right?
loud too as well. Like they were at like the bottom right of me, and I could hear them like pretty clearly over the movie. Like there were scenes where they were like in the movie they were talking a little bit, and then like the other people would like start talking so loud, and it's just like, dude, like I'm trying to hear it. It's so hard to hear
Yeah,
now.
we probably
Yeah,
should have watched this
so-
either earlier in the morning or next week.
I wonder who suggested that. Anyways, well, we don't want to let that hinder our theater experiences, but it did. Our movie watching, our movie experience. So take that as you will.
I'd give it a 4 out of 10.
But wow, I think I gave it the highest.
Yeah.
Maybe because I was in a circumference of you were blocking my
Yeah.
way, so
Yeah.
you had that. Because sound is acoustics, and acoustics are vibrations, and vibrations bounce off of whatever the fuck, I don't know. But anyways, so that's why maybe our reviews might be tainted. We'll see when, the 4K Blu-ray comes out or something like that, and I'll rewatch it. I don't know. But anyways, The Flash 2023, directed by the same director who made It and It Chapter 2,
Oh,
I
really?
believe. Let me actually fact check that, because it did not feel like it. I'm not gonna get into spoilers.
Yeah.
Andy Muschietti, yeah, he made It Chapter 2. He made a lot of really pretty decent horror films. So I don't know.
What else? Sorry, let me see.
He made Mama. He made Mama. And then he made
Did you watch that?
an American remake. I actually have seen all these, and these
wow.
they're great horror films. So I was expecting a different tone. Obviously, with Zack Snyder, very dark tone, very ominous. Some people liked it, like myself. Some people hated it. And then you have the Joss Whedon's era of DC films, and those a lot of people hated. And I think this is kind of in the middle, but more towards the Joss Whedon, where so many really random moments of comedy, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I think if you've seen the trailer, there's two Flashes, and the 18-year-old Flash, who looks like 34-year-old Flash at the exact same time, but just a different haircut, he was an extremely annoying character. I think it made me really hard to kind of get into what's going on because the young Flash is just so annoying, and the other Flash is also annoying, but it kind of takes away. So when you're having two annoying people, but just one's more annoying than the other, it's just that's our main protagonist. If you're watching, I don't want to spoil anything, but if you're watching it to see what happens with Ben Affleck and his character, you don't really get much resolve. I know there's a lot of interviews with him saying that it was a good send-off. Was it though? I don't know, maybe 2 minutes in the movie. This is mainly a Ben Affleck Batman movie, if you like that. But again, I was a bit scared when getting into things, because what's the point of having the character that you love when he's not the character that you love, you know? When you have, he's Michael Caine, I mean not Michael Caine, Michael Keaton, but he has a different personality. But thankfully things reverted into whatever it is. I like that they've actually brought back the Danny Elfman Batman score for quite a few times, so that was cool. So those are my positives. I think performances, I don't think were terrible for the most part. I think Michael Keaton did the best out of all of them. Who was
Michael Keaton? Sorry.
The old guy, the old Batman guy.
Oh yeah, he did a good job. Yeah.
But there's no real standout performances. I mean, Ezra Miller, he did the best he could, but even then it wasn't very good at all. Music was actually pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. There was actually memorable orchestral scenes that really stand out. Obviously the Danny Elfman score, but a lot of other scores that they kind of melded into to try to make it more within itself.
Sorry, let me stop you. I had a question. What did you think of Superwoman's performance? Like, do you think it was kind of like...
Oh yeah, Superwoman is in this, and it's like, okay, great.
It's whatever.
It's okay.
It's whatever. She didn't leave an impact on me. It was better than I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't leave, like, you're not gonna be like, yeah, that's my new Superwoman or super them or super whatever.
Well, I liked her inclusion, but in the source material, it's an emaciated Superman.
I like how she's an emaciated Superman, but she has perfect eyeliner and not perfect eyeliner, but perfect eyebrows, and her hair's all nice. And it's like, okay, interesting.
It's just that the Superman, the original version of it, he stays skinny, but because Superwoman is a woman, her being skinny isn't very, shocking compared to Superman, who's usually like 250-pound, 12% body fat, jacked as shit.
Yeah. And then I want to get into the tone aspect and the writing. Oof. I don't know. I was really hyped because I was expecting some darker tones. Now I know some people hate it. I personally am a fan of, because it's a dark story, right?
Yeah.
Like this guy's going back to save his mom, who he witnessed die like brutally, right?
We still don't know how she died.
So it's like, I don't know. And I saw Flashpoint. I don't remember Flashpoint being this kind of quirky, fun little comedy movie.
Was it dark?
I know. I think it was pretty dark.
Yeah, the only funny parts were from Barry Allen.
Yeah, and then it's like, I don't know. The
but
writing
this one, everyone is kind of.
If you don't like the Sweden, I think Joss Whedon did the original Justice League. If you don't like that movie for the quirkiness and the lighting and the tone, you're gonna hate this movie, because that's basically what that is.
It's not that bad.
A few notches down. I would say it's a few notches down. Have you seen Joss Whedon's Justice League?
I've seen enough of it.
It's almost there, but it has some semblances of that to where it really turns me off. So the writing wasn't really good. There's a lot of jokes that the crowd seemed to like. I didn't like. There's a lot of really silly, stupid, like, oh my god, look, Ezra Miller, he's 18 years old, so he's stupid and he's silly, haha. I think the only joke that I did laugh at, and this is not a spoiler, is when the 18-year-old young Flash turns a Batman suit into his own suit, and because obviously, if you know Michael Keaton's Batman, it was a very constrictive mask, so when they're looking at each other, he's like this, and the mask is all fucking quirked out and shit. That was a good one. And then when Michael Keaton talks about timelines and about spaghetti, I think that gave me a little pop. I never went like, ha, ha, like all these other people in the theater. So yeah, it has a very strong ending. I would say that kind of really helps the movie, because for the most part it's like, ooh, what's going on here, and you kind of feel like, wow, this is really the Flash movie that I was anticipating for like, I think 2 years. I think I made a reaction video to the initial teaser trailer when they first announced that Michael Keaton's Batman will be there, and I was like, holy shit. And I feel somewhat satisfied on that aspect, but it just, I wanted so much more from it, and it didn't really give me that. The biggest negative, I would say, is its visual presentation. For being, what, $300 million, it did not look like that whatsoever. The CGI was god fucking awful. It looked like a PS3, like, you ever watch like E3 and they had those like pre-rendered PS3 trailers?
It looked like a PS2 game.
That's what it looked like, and I'm like, this can't be real. All of the action scenes when it comes to superheroes fighting each other felt very weightless, very unsatisfactory. Like when you see someone getting punched in the face, you want to want to feel like, yeah, he got punched in the face, he's all hurt and shit, but you don't feel like that. Everyone's like spaghetti noodles.
Yeah.
Everyone's flopping around. Everyone feels weightless. The only good action scene I would say was when they break into the Russian bunker and Batman's all badass and it's all darkly lit and he's like clotheslining people and drop kicking them and throwing his batarangs and it like concusses people. That was good, but that was the only good action scene whatsoever. The CGI, oh my god, that scene where he saves all the babies and all the babies look all fucking corked out and like rubbery and plasticky. The CGI did not do it for me. And you know, we're in an era, especially for the superhero genre, where CGI is so like the advancements in CGI have become so good. Things like Thanos. We're 5 years removed from Infinity War. Half a decade has been since even more, right? 2017, right?
Yeah, no, it's 2019. Oh,
no, that's Endgame.
When Thanos first appeared.
Yeah, so Infinity War, that had amazing CGI, and we're half a decade past that, and with probably the same, maybe even more of a budget, and it looks worse. How does that happen? And I don't know. So if you have an action film and the action sucks, it's like, what kind of movie do you have? And it's like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going off. I'm going on a tangent. I would say the good things is the music is good. The performances are okay. Michael Keaton, you get what you want from Michael Keaton, and yeah, but it's definitely not like passing of the. It didn't really feel like a passing of the torch into the next kind of thing. Like it just felt like it was its own contained story, and that's it. It didn't really feel like it was leading up to something else that I was kind of hoping for, being that Flashpoint paradox and all that kind of stuff, leading into a different universe and that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Overly, I would say this is an extremely disappointing film. It didn't give me what I really wanted from it. Obviously, I came in with low expectations, and it slightly was a little better than I was hoping for. But again, I was expecting like a 1 out of 10. But for me, I would say this is like a 4.6 out of 10. It failed as a superhero movie. All the things that I was trying to go for with the comedy and the writing, it just failed on all those aspects. The action looks extremely, like, really bad, like Nintendo Wii Iron Man pre-rendered cutscene action scenes. And so when the jokes don't work, and that's 50% of the script, when the action doesn't work in your superhero action movie, it just fails for me. So I would give it a 4.6. There are a few certain scenes that I did like. Again, the ending was extremely strong. There was really some decent emotional scenes that got to me, but that doesn't redeem the first hour and 10 minutes. You know, there's a lot of really cool scenes with Flash and that kind of stuff, but you know, it felt like a montage movie, a movie, you know, edited by a trailer house. It didn't feel like a film. I guess I can't really say that. So yeah, 4.6. What about you, Mr. Guy who said who liked it?
Oh damn.
I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not judging anybody. That's just my opinions.
All right, you go out.
So I think overall this movie is better than I thought it would have been. So I don't mind Flash being silly, because Barry Allen's Flash has always been silly. You know, he's always been the quirky guy, even in the source material where it's a lot more darker.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because I don't really know much about Flash.
He's the main source of the comedy stuff. Also, I do find that having Batman be funny too was a bit too much, but it didn't overstay its welcome. But it was something that held it back a bit. But to be honest, I remember Michael Keaton's Batman already did quips during the Tim Burton era. So it's like, okay, I guess this is not
it's not out of nowhere. Yeah,
there's a precedent for this guy saying stuff like that. I know the CGI was pretty bad. The only time it really was like, okay, this is just silly, was
my god, when Michael Keaton's in front of the green screen in that end battle scene, it's like, what the fuck is that?
I don't really know.
I don't with that certain character.
I don't really notice bad CGI. It's just the babies were a bit too obvious. That was one like, okay.
Or when he's in that Flashpoint paradox thing, when he's going through time and they show what happens, like everything, like it didn't even look like
Yeah, that thing I didn't.
He goes in the past and they see different versions of whatever, and like it looks like they didn't even try to make people look realistic. It looked like
I don't really mind that. I think that was okay. I think it could.
Do you think that was intentional for them to look like PS2 graphics? Or?
I don't think it was intentional. I think it was just that, okay, it doesn't look good, but it's whatever. I think that they felt okay with it being not that good, because it's
let me see the actual budget.
It's just a clip of it, but like I didn't mind a lot of the CGI except for the babies.
200 million.
Yeah, $200 million production budget.
Yeah, but it was also delayed a lot too, so that probably increased the budget. And also, you're paying for Michael Keaton, who's Oscar nominated now, or he won an Oscar.
I think so for Birdman, maybe.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
His
though.
price tag probably went out, and when you see the cameos that come in, it probably costs quite a bit of money to get those people. So that's probably why the budget's inflated, not because of the CGI, but because of all the people they brought in. I think
you're hyping up that aspect a bit too much. I don't want to get into spoilers, but I don't. Anyways, go.
Yeah, I think this movie is kind of revolutionary if you think about it in a dystopian society, because there's dead actors that are in this movie, and they've been dead for decades, and now they're in this movie. So this is just going to open the floodgates. Now you're going to have dead actors come back for movies. Like, oh, here's a 22-year-old John Wayne in I don't know, in a new cowboy movie coming soon in 2032. But this movie opens a can of worms for the ethics of filmmaking. However, in terms of the actual movie, I like the action. I did not like the younger Barry Allen for a bit, but I mean, he's 18 years old and this is a stoner.
But he doesn't look like it, so you forget what his age is.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like a 33-year-old.
Well, he looks young. He looks this exact same. The only difference is the haircut.
How old is Ezra Miller? I think he's in his early 30s, right?
Early 30s, late 20s. But yeah, this is definitely not as
he's 30. Okay,
he's 30.
so
This is definitely not as bad as Joss Whedon's type of comedy. Joss Whedon's just like way too much out there.
it's up there though.
No,
It's definitely not.
It's not.
It's not Coen. It's not,
Okay, guys, no arguing.
It's not that funny. It was,
we have different perspectives on things, right? So it's interesting to see. So
yeah, I like the action. I like the story that it told. I think this and I don't want to. I think this is a very sad superhero movie when you think about the whole grand scheme of things.
sad, maybe for like 5 minutes, maybe.
No, I meant like when you think about everything that happened and what the end result is. I think overall it's a very sad superhero ending, because there's no like continuation of this. It's like if Infinity War did not have an end game. You know,
It's a fart of a movie.
it's yeah, I really like this movie. I think it was a great movie. It's better than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a 7 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 for me.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't.
Right.
The only time some of Ezra Miller's acting was kind of flat. You know, when he's saying no, he just says no. But not like in a dramatic. He just yells no, as if like he dropped like a spaghetti or something.
But I've known people who talk like that, so it could be.
Yeah, he's neurodivergent Flash. Yeah, there was some heartwarming stuff. Unfortunately, people were talking during those parts.
And I didn't even lower your rating, huh? Sheesh.
I found that compared to the source material, it does a couple of things better. Instead of an emaciated Superman, you have a Superwoman instead.
Yeah, it makes sense because it's trying to flip everything.
Yeah, and there was like some war between the Atlanteans and the Wonder Woman tribe in the source material. This one, that's all forgone. There's no... A lot of characters that are in the Justice League are not in this movie. It's just a small few people.
Got 4 minutes left. So,
Yeah.
out of 10, what would you give this?
I give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Just
Yeah.
8?
Yeah, just 8.
Rookie numbers. All right, Haseeb.
All right.
As a person who has not even followed up with all of the DCEU, DCU stuff, what are your thoughts?
Okay, well, honestly, I really did not like the Batman. I mean, to be fair, maybe it's my fault because...
But you've also never watched the original Batman movies,
I
right?
haven't.
Okay, so you don't have that nostalgic
The
connection.
only connection I have with Batman is like I've watched movie like The Dark Knight Rises, and like things like Joker.
Have you watched Batman Begins?
Like, I haven't. No.
What? Okay, interesting.
Have you watched the Batman animated series?
I've watched.
Anyways,
a bit of it,
continue
But
with
yeah,
it.
anyways, yeah, we're running out of time. But yeah, like I didn't like the tone that Batman had. I just felt like he just had so much more around him as a character, right? It just like in The Dark Knight, he had like, you know, he had his butler, he had Catwoman, he just had like more people around.
Well, this
him,
is after
right?
everyone's dead, right? Everyone's gone. So.
Perhaps, but like I don't know. It just felt like his character just felt a bit more not useless per se, but just a bit more shallow, I guess. The Flash himself, you guys said that like he was like quirky or whatever. I didn't mind him actually, personally. I thought he was a pretty good character, and I think the 18-year-old variant, like, to me at least, came off as an 18-year-old, right? The whole like cheesy laughs that he did as like a stoner was kind of like bad, but he was a believable 18-year-old. I think they did a good job on that. Okay, well, I guess I'll just sum up my rating because you guys already said things that I said. So to sum up, I think overall with like the theater experience, with how the movie played, the god awful CGI in my opinion, I'd give it a solid like 4.5 out of 10, to be honest.
Okay, yeah.
It just to me it didn't hit the mark of what a superhero movie is. Like maybe just because I got off like Avengers and all of that stuff, it just felt kind of like shallow. Like there's only these few people left. Okay, let's just go in a little bit.
Maybe you
fight.
need to watch Infinity War again, Ali, because that had the perfect mix of like really good comedy,
It
but
did.
also people fucking die.
Yeah.
And we should take that very seriously, but this doesn't really.
It didn't. Yeah, exactly. It didn't feel like people died. It just felt like whatever.
Like whatever, it's another universe. We'll go back to our universe though. So it's like,
Yeah.
what? Okay.
Yeah, and it just didn't feel proper. Like, well, I won't spoil anything, obviously, but like there were certain things that happened in the film that didn't have any weight to it. I feel like it just happened, right? It's like usually like in a movie, sometimes at least, like when that person is gone, you feel the weight of it, right? Because like all
they're
of the
gone, yeah.
characters are feeling it, but it didn't feel like it because of the acting or whatever. So yeah, 4.5 out of 10.
4.5, 4.6, 8 point what?
8.05.
8.05. So that was our review. Let me down below if you guys watched The Flash and if you enjoyed it. Anyways, this has been the Mockbuster and the boys. We'll see you guys next time. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace out.
Bye-bye.